Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys my everyday, no foundation, quick and easy makeup routine. But also, while I was going through the products that I wanted to use for this video, I realized that 99% of them were current favorites right now. So I thought, why not put the two together? So this is an everyday, current favorites, no foundation makeup routine. Now, this no foundation routine I don't use too often anymore, but I do love doing it and I did do it for years. But now if I'm going out, I just put on foundation, I do the full face, and if I'm filming, I do the full face. And if I'm not really going out or I'm just hanging around and going out to Kmart or something, I don't do makeup at all, just my lashes. So yeah, I don't do it too often, but I did actually do it for the Essence event that I went to in January, and people were shook when I said I wasn't wearing foundation. So since then, I've wanted to share it with you guys. So without further ado, let's get some makeup on this face and get straight into it. So to start off with, you want to focus on skincare because that is probably the most important thing about this routine, and that is that your skin is looking healthy and gorgeous before you even need to put any product on it, and that is why you don't really need to use much. Now, as some of you may know, I'm actually doing a campaign with Lancome and YSL this year, so that involves trying out a bunch of their products and then sharing them with you guys if I love them. So the first one is this Lancome Advanced Genifique Serum, and since I got this, I added this to my skincare routine and I've used it every day. Honestly, I don't know if it does anything, but it's expensive and it's beautiful and it feels really nice, so I just keep using it in the hopes that someone else will notice the difference because I don't really know what I'm looking for. But anyway, this is always the first step in my routine. So we just do 3 drops on the face and then just blend that around. Once that is dry on the skin, which doesn't take very long, you can continue rubbing it in until it's dry, or rub it in mostly and then leave it for about 10 seconds and it's done. Then we want to move on to moisturizer. Now this is the one I have always used, and I pretty much lather on moisturizer as it is, but for this routine, you just want to go that extra little bit so that your face is a shiny mess. Not sure how that would go if you're oily, but I have very dry skin. So I generally do 3 dots all over. So for this one, I just add a 4th dot on the chin. And always bring it down your neck a little bit. Now, usually I would leave this moisturizer to soak into my skin for about 10 minutes, but for this routine, you only want to leave it for a few, because once we put the concealer on top, we want it to blend really easily into the skin, into the moisturizer, and kind of mix in and, you know, sheer it out a little bit. And yes, I do use concealer. That and a little bit of powder is the only base product we use, but you will see why and I will explain it all as we go. For concealer, this isn't a favorite, but I think it will quickly become one because it is a new product I'm trying out, and it is the Revolution Makeup Conceal and Defined Concealer. So I think you have heard of this. It is the famous Tarte Shape Tape dupe, and I've used it once and I honestly love it 10 times more. It pretty much gives you the coverage and everything you want from Shape Tape, but to me it does not seem as matte and as drying. So far I'm loving this. So with this, we're just going to pop this under the eyes, nowhere else unless you have a blemish that you are super self-conscious on. Pop a little bit on there and blend it out as soon as you can so that you don't leave an obvious spot where you've got the concealer. But this is mainly just to brighten and cover the purple under our eyes. If you have no purple, then you may not even need this. That is insane. Now I just blend the leftover a tiny bit over my nose because my nose can get quite red and it looks very obvious that I don't have product there and I have it under my eyes. So I just like to blend that all together. Now going in with powder, I only use a little bit of this because we really want to keep this glowiness that we've got going on. So I pretty much only pop it on the eyes and then a little bit over the cheek area for coverage and also so that our powder products blend out really nicely. To keep this super natural, you could also go the cream contour route, but I'm just not about that. Honestly, if you are fair-skinned and you haven't tried this powder, definitely check it out. I really don't know how it would go on deep skin because it is pure white, but it doesn't leave any white cast on my skin and I just love it. Now for the rest of the face, of course, I go in with my trusty Australis Fresh and Flawless, almost in need of a new one, and I take the biggest fluffy brush I have and I pick up just the tiniest bit. You really don't want lots, and you just want to set that over the bulk of your cheek area. A little bit on that nose because we did put some concealer there, and just to cover up the rest of that redness. And then what I do is grab a little bit more and pop that over the top of what's under the eyes, just for a little bit more coverage of that purple under there, because it's still not completely covered, but I'm not too fussed. So that is the base done. Literally just a touch of concealer, a little bit of translucent powder, and a little bit of coloured powder, and you look like you have nothing on, but you look bright and fresh and awake, and I just love how this looks. So to give my moisturiser and powders and everything a little bit of time to settle and set down, I move up to my brows. So I've always loved the Essence Make Me Brow. I really don't ever think I'll use anything else, although I have been using the Benefit Precisely My Brow when I want a full-on brow, but for every day I just add a little brow mascara. Now moving on to the eyes, it will really depend on how I'm feeling or the weather. So today it is windy, so putting on a liquid liner is not really a good option, but also in summer it's not a good option because it's hot. So I have really sensitive eyes, especially to weather and wind, which is a real pain because I love my wings. But for today, I think I'm gonna skip it and just go in with a ton of mascara. So the Benefit Bad Gal Bang was my favourite when it came out, and I used that for weeks. And then my sister said you have to try the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and she was right. I loved it and I haven't looked back since. I'm so obsessed. This does everything for your lashes that I never thought a mascara could do. So we're just gonna start packing on this. So that is just a couple of passes over my lashes and it already looks insane. I am obsessed. I will say though, if you don't like clumpy mascaras, you probably won't like this one. It can clump easily, and that is kind of the point to me of volumizing mascaras, is to clump them a little bit so they look super thick. God, I hate random phone calls. Why do people do this? From New South Wales. I don't know anyone there, so no, I'm not gonna pick up. I hate getting interrupted during my lashes as well, because it's one of the most important parts for me. So I'm not happy with this person, but one of the best things to do is to actually copy the number, pop it into Google, just to see what it is. It's interesting. Usually you find out whether it's like a scammer or a company. This just says it's a landline, so they clearly just got the wrong number. Now, time to finish off the face. I have two bronzers that I absolutely love, but for every day I've actually been going to the Mecca Max bronzer. I don't know what it is, they're honestly so similar and they're both affordable. As I've said before, I think this one's actually cheaper. Now I'm not going to apply much bronzer because I'm not wearing heavy makeup. We just want to add a little bit of colour, and then I like to focus on blush and highlight because they're my favourites. And lately I have actually been doing the bronzer around the forehead look, and I don't know, I really like how it looks. Definitely makes my face look darker than my body, but I'm so used to that I'm not bothered. So that's pretty much all the bronzer we're going to apply, and then I'm going to take this super fluffy brush again and just really blend that out. Now for blush, I have also been stuck between two, but I think today I'm going to go with the Milani Baked Blush in Dolce Pink. This is just so gorgeous and so pink, but has a gold shimmer to it as well. So if you just sweep it over your cheeks, you end up having this really subtle gold highlight. So if you're not really a highlight person, you wouldn't have to add one after. But the other blush I've been loving, which you'll probably know, is California. This is just gorgeous. This beautiful coral color, again with a little bit of gold reflect, and just They're both so good. And for blush, this new thing I've been doing, which I've never done before, I've never used a brush like this before, but for applying blush, it is perfect. And it is also, wow, also perfect for this look because it really blends it out super softly and just applies it in the most amazing way. I am obsessed. So pick up a little bit until the brush is pink, and then sweep that over. This is so pigmented, so be careful. And I apply blush from the apples all the way up, sort of all over my cheek really. I just love blush. I'm one of those weird people who actually likes blush while everyone else hates it. And again, back in with this brush and just blend it all together. I do this even when I'm wearing foundation because I just love everything to be as seamless as possible. Now for the lips, I simply just wear Paw, so I may as well chuck that on now, and then we'll get into highlighter. When I'm wearing this minimal makeup, I feel like a lipstick or a matte lipstick just looks a little too intense, so Paw is just nice. It's kind of like a gloss, but it's good for your lips as well. Moving on to the final step of highlighter. I love highlighter, so I actually have a lot. We have this Model Zone Peach Pearl, it was upside down, highlighter, which I have really been loving. This gives quite a pinky gold reflect, which is quite similar to the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in Blossom Glow, hence the name Blossom. It gives quite a pinky reflect as well, but pretty sure the Model Zone one is pinker. Those two I have been loving. Of course, I've been loving my Sports Curl highlighter palette, but for today I've got some new highlighters, so I think we're going to try those out. So for today I have these Unicorn Mermaid Rainbow highlighters. This one is from Essence, and I swatched it in store and it comes out this really nice pinky goldy color, which is so interesting considering when you look at it, it's got all the colors in it. And then this one looks like this, and this comes out quite an icy silvery color. So I'm going to try both, then see which one I like more and put that on both sides. So going in with this brush. Ooh. So I've bought a couple of Essence highlighters in the past and they never really do anything, they just look really pretty. So I'm very surprised that this one actually has a glow. It's very subtle, I will say that, and I think it is leaving a pink cast on my face, but I hope you guys can see that. It's really subtle but really nice and kind of perfect for every day, or for someone who isn't super into the highlight. Just adds that touch. So now let's go over with this one. Whoa, that's super blue. Oh god, I'm scared. Oh wow, yup. Wow. Oh, I shouldn't have put that on my nose. Wow, let's just get rid of that. This is not for the faint-hearted. And then the Essence one is the complete opposite. Just gonna take the Sports Girl highlighter for my nose and my forehead. I love to put highlighter up there. Then I'm gonna grab this brush again and really blend this out. So this is the finished look. As you can see, super healthy and glowy looking, maybe a little too glowy, but I just love how this looks. It looks nice and natural and just, if you can't tell, I'm obsessed with how this looks. So if you guys are confident with your skin, which I really hope you are, then I highly recommend giving this a go, experimenting with what works for you. Lots of concealer, no concealer, a different product, I don't know, a tiny bit of powder foundation if you really feel you need that. I don't know, especially if you're tanned, you may need something to match your face to your body. But yeah, I love this and I hope you guys enjoyed watching and seeing this routine, and also hearing about a couple of my recent favorite products, or products that I've been loving for a very long time and I still am loving. We tried out a few new products and I really had fun with this video. So make sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you are new. And of course, click the notification bell so you don't miss another video. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!